G'day folks, welcome back to another Flux Fishing Adventure, something a bit different. I'm just travelling up the coast with the family, going up to a mate's wedding in Wagulga, and we've just stopped in at Seal Rocks. We're here for 4 days, gonna have some short little sessions just off the beach and off the rocks. Pretty cracking weather we've got up here at the moment. Light southerly blowing, never fished up here before, so we'll see how we go. Right guys, it's pretty early the next morning. Just wandering down to the beach just to have a look, see how much swell there is today. Don't think there's going to be much, still pretty protected from the south swell that's running. Low tide, just sussed out the fish activity down here in the corner. Might have a couple of casts off the rocks. Just got a little tiny spinning lure to start with, little 16 gram model. And a few little salmon down here yesterday on the higher tide. I come for a walk last night, sussing out the surf conditions. Looked like there was a bit of a left and a right just over there on the low tide, where those dudes are now. Well, he's probably as good a spot as any to give it a go to start with. I think the higher tide would probably be more productive off the beach. Just fishing it out around the rocks. Only bought the one GoPro with me and one battery today, so I'm just being a little bit sparing with the battery. It's not really a very good moon phase or anything for fishing at the moment. You can see the moon just up there, just after half moon. It's a long way away. It's also not really directly overhead. You can see it's off on an angle there, probably 45 degrees to what I am at the moment. You really want it tracking directly overhead, and yeah, as close as possible. Mission out here on this rock here. I think I should better get out of here. Just going for a quick little mission, just a bit of an explore this morning. All right, let's see how we go. Oh, well, I made it across here. That other gap there looks a little bit small. I might try that one on the way back. I'm not the most agile of guys these days. All right. Just sussing the conditions a little bit before I get down near the water's edge. Pretty shallow through here in front of me. I could get across that little gap over there as well and get out onto this bit, but I might just stay here, I think. Rocks are pretty wet here, I might get wet feet. I have a feeling it's going to be a bit too shallow here for fish at the moment. I don't know whether to go try this little bit over here maybe. Have a couple of casts over here, see what happens. Alright, let's go out this little pimple here. Have a couple of little casts down in here. Fractionally deeper water over this side. Up pretty high. I don't think the waves will be wet me here, but I could be wrong. And I am wrong, of course. Yep. Comes another set. Well, that was a bit There's a lure stuck on that rock right there. That big shiny blue lure just on top of that rock. Looks like a pretty good lure too. No luck as yet. I'm going to try another spot. And I think I'll just shimmy up here to get back up. Let's give it a go. Probably got half an hour to kill. Let's go hit the beach, go for a walk along the beach, suss that wave. Might just climb up here, I think. Might be the easy option. Looks like a bit of a worn path here.
Get you out, you want to sit down there? That's for sure. Yeah, right. Where else down there, let's get. No, what's this here? Okay. These might need to slide on the dirt rather than on the rocks.
Rightio, let's mission up this beach. We'll go try and find some fish. Right, so I'm pretty much just walking the beach, actually looking for fish now, physically hunting them with my eyes. Not going to worry about casting unless I can actually see them. My plan is to walk up to the rocks up here. If I don't see any fish by the time I get there, I'll just click a few lures on the way back. I probably should have brought my 10.6 just to give me that extra casting distance. I only brought my little, just 8.6 light setup. I think this is, don't know what this is to be honest. Yeah, PE 0.4 to 1.2, 8.6. Lure weight of 25 grams. Not looking too promising down here. This little gutter up here, I might just have a quick go in here where them people are now pretty much. You can see the beach at the moment is actually pretty steep. So on high tide, this will all fill in a lot more. Be a lot deeper water through here. Got a whale just out here doing a bit of spy hopping. This gutter here, I reckon on the high tide will produce some fish. Have a feeling. Have a quick little flick now on the low tide. Better go home and tell the boss after this. He's always keen on watching whales do their thing. I've just gone up to a slightly heavier lure, just running a 28 gram lure now. Just give me an extra cast distance. We'll see how we go. I'm actually out of batteries on the GoPro, and so if I catch a fish you might not even see it. Let's just have a couple of casts, see what happens. Those whales pretty spectacular. Alright guys, on that note I'm going to call it. I've been gone for probably an hour or so, haven't caught any fish. Gonna get home, let the missus go for a walk, come see these whales while they're still here, take over with the kid duties, and I'll try again a bit later on the high tide. Mid-afternoon, probably about 4 o'clock, daylight savings time. Got myself a beer, heading back up the beach to these rocks. Look like the most promising spot on the beach, a few gutters, and I'm just gonna make my way. There's another little bay around this first set of rocks. Looks like it's got some pretty deep gutters on it on Google Earth. I'm just going to make my way over there, around them rocks, see what I can find. Got this lovely beer for the trip. Delicious. Got to stay hydrated when you're fishing, most important. Looks like a bunch of dudes up here in nut huggers. Must be a male model shoot or something going on. Too bad I don't have any female, oh well, I won't say any, but I don't have many female viewers. Could have got a show, ladies. I could put a few casts in here, but I kind of just want to get up, fish up this section. I fished here this morning. Don't think too much has changed. I probably should have come a few hours ago, right on the top of the high tide. You can see it was lapping up against this steep bit. It's probably the time to come when the shoreys are crashing up on here. Makes for a nice deep gutter just straight off the front here. I can't see any fish. I'm still actively looking for fish while I'm walking, so. There's another dude fishing up here. By the looks of it. Haven't got any bait. Didn't bring any hooks. Pretty much lures only. Looks like the dude up here's caught himself a 7 for a tailor. If I can't get around the rocks, I'll just fish here, I guess. I'm pretty sure he's using bait. Probably pilchards or something. I don't have any rod holders to stick it in the sand or anything. Just been talking to the old bloke back there. He's got a few brim up here this morning. Just caught a salmon, just using bait. First cast. Just got something nice and bright down in this shady area. It's just shaded by these cliffs. Oh mate, just got himself another salmon. Well, I'm not catching any fish here. I'm going to move back down that way a bit. See where the beach drops away and there's the wash off where that vertical edge is. Probably go 50 metres the other side of old mate down there. He's been catching fish after fish after fish. Not even a hit or anything. I've changed lures. It's not happening for me, so I'm going to move back down the beach. Hang out near old mate a bit. Yeah, right, so I'm not really having much luck. Just going to chill, drink me beers, enjoy the afternoon. Hit a pretty cracking little spot. I think I've missed the fish. Old mate's headed back down the beach there. Cheers. Come for a bit of a mission up the coast. Just here at Smith's Lake. Got a little grommet here with me playing in the sand. I'm just going to have a bit of walk around these flats. I've got a I'm going to use this guy this morning. Just a bit extra flash and a bit of rattle. Makes a lot of noise. Square bib, heaps of action. Rapala lure. I'll just give that a go. Like I said, I'm not going to go too far from here. I'll just walk up around the weed edges down there a bit. Never fished here. I don't know whether there's a few drop-offs way off over there. The lake's actually closed at the moment, so there's not going to be any tidal flow. It's nice and warm. There's a few bait fish and stuff running around the edge of the weed just here in front of me, so I'm just going to concentrate on the edge of the weed. Hopefully I see a fish or two. Alright, so there's bait galore around this weed. You'll see them just starting off here in front of me. Over there, heaps of mullet. Just here in front of me, heaps of mullet. Few garfish here as well. Quite a big profile lure this guy. Fat little tubby lure. Few whiting around. And a couple of right size whiting. I haven't got any super light gear, but I do have a few little surface lures like sugar pens and stuff that will more than likely attract one of them. I wish I had a large potty trap. I'd just probably catch a few of those potties and send them out. So a big flathead just come out of here, just in front of me. Probably would have been a mid 50s, low 60s. I know there's some fish here. I've just seen one good one, so I'm just going to go back, especially if these guys do kayak hire. Grab a kayak and I might try and make a quick potty trap, catch a few potties, and I'll just drift this sand flat with some potties. You can see the bait through here. It's just loaded with bait for the section we've come in. There's thousands of mullet through here. You can see why those big flatties are just lurking in this weed. You can see why the mullet are hiding in the weed. Alright, let's go see if we can get a little kayak. And I'll put a soft bait on, I'll just drift along with the wind. So I got myself a bottle. I'm just making myself a potty mullet trap. I don't need the scissors anymore, thanks Muskin. Just fold the tops in. Can I use your crust to catch the fish? So we got the peanut butter honey sandwich crust going to go in here. Let's put a couple in for now. One big sinker, stick him in there. Let's see if we can get the fish to go in there, hey Desi?
Yeah.
Alright, so this super shallow, well not super shallow, but about a metre deep. This whole sand flat's only about a metre deep. Going to run a 1/6 ounce in a 10 light from your jig head. Got this 95mm wriggler prawn from Squidgy. Start with. Alright. No thanks. Alright, we're just going out to check our potty mullet trap. Pretty sure there's a heap of potties in there. Got our little assistant here. Turned up the barbbies in the water. Oh, look, we got a couple of potties. And a couple of toadies. And a couple of little whiting. Who's got that? Put him back in there. Get rid of these toadies. Pull the toadies out. You don't need them. Come on, Dad, what are you doing? Alright. This little guy, this whiting. That little tiny whiting, he's not going to go for a live bait. I'll let him go. And the others are not whiting, so they... No, don't try and touch them because they'll keep jumping there. No, but what we need to do is put something over there so they don't all jump out. We've got a few branches here. Don't put your Barbie in there. He's not supposed to be getting wet. There. We got that guy. Right. Super light drag. Just wind it up off the bottom a bit. Jam it in the tree. Make sure nothing's hooked up. On the fishing line. Oh, I think that'll be okay. Probably not ideal, but it'll do the job. Alright, so we could potentially have a fish on here. Hasn't taken too long. See how we go. I did hear some line got pulled off the drag, but that doesn't mean too much because it's quite a light drag. And we've picked up our first fish. Well, I'll try and get him in. We'll try and get him in over here, eh? So that didn't take too long. We went to the mullet. Went and bought myself a bottle from the supermarket in the caravan park here. And it looks like we've picked up an alright little flathead. He's just over there in the edge of the weed. Just try and lift him up and get him in. He's all tangled up in the weed. He's a pretty solid sort of a fish. Alright, look out, Jazz, I'll try and swim him up. He's tangled in the... Tangled. Yeah, you jump back up. Go back up there. We got our dinner fish. He's all tangled up in the weed. Like I said, I've got my little helper here. Might just try and get some of that weed off the line. Make it a bit easier to get him in. There he is there. Anyway, guys, not a bad fish. Like I said, we're after a fish for dinner tonight, so that'll be our dinner if I get him up on the shore. Phew! Cracking little fish. So I've got a heap of potties now. I've just got those tiny little kiddie buckets that I'm keeping the potties in. So the potty trap's still out there. It's still absolutely loaded with potties. It's full as a goog. So I'm just going to leave it out in the water and leave the potties in the trap. Just because it's going to be too hard to try and keep them alive in those little tiny buckets. But one fish down, hopefully one more. That should be plenty of fish for us for the night. And then the boss over here doesn't look particularly happy. She doesn't like fish, but everyone else does, so.